Hi, Carmen here from UMI Trailers. Today we're going to go over the 26-foot bunkhouse hideout. We're going to start at the front with the propane tanks and our leveling jack. So simply remove the cover. Now keep in mind all the stuff will be set up when you arrive to your unit. We just want you to know how everything works. So when you arrive, you will be on the right-hand tank. This may be full, it may be a part tank. This tank will always be full. So if for some reason you do run out of propane, which would be like your stove won't light, your fridge won't work, can't get any heat in the unit, those are all indications that you may be out of propane. So what you do then is you come out here, there's a selector switch located right here. You would open the other tank, flip your selector switch over, and then close this tank. And that will get you propane back into the unit. On the front, we do have an electric jack, so if you are having kids here, please advise them not to play with the buttons because we will have the unit level when you arrive. Your 26-foot rental bunkhouse hideout does come with an outside kitchen, which is located behind this door. Contains a sink, a stovetop, and a fridge. Keep in mind the fridge will only run if you are connected to a campground power, or if you want to leave your generator running all day long, you could do that, but most provincial places wouldn't allow you to do that. So to do your setup, let's release those, pull the drawer out. Underneath here is going to be your propane line, which connects to a fitting right down here, so you'll just plug that in. It's like an air hose fitting, so you pull the collar back, insert the hose, and then on the side where you connect is a valve that you will open, and that will allow the propane to run into the unit. Open your lid. Your wind guard's out. This is your spout for your sink. Simply pull down on the collar, same with the propane tank. Insert, lift your collar back up. That is done. Then you can lock in to the top two latches. And that is as simple as that. If you're using your fridge, just undo it. There you go. There's a temperature control here. Remember not to turn it up too high, or you do risk a chance of freezing up your fridge, and then it'll be of no use to you. That is the outside fridge on the 26-foot bunkhouse Keystone hideout. Put it away, exactly the same. Release your top latches. Close. Pull down on the collar, same as with your propane tank. Slide your drawer in, unhook below. That goes underneath. And then you can connect to these ones. Done. Make sure your fridge is done. Open your latch. Close it up. Okay, so let's look how to dump your black water and gray water on your hideout 26 BH bunkhouse model. On the left hand side at the rear, you're going to find two labels, one that says black tank and one that says gray tank. This unit has two connections for hoses. Unfortunately, campsites only allow you one, so you'll have to move your hose back and forth. So when you arrive at the site, you will notice that there will be a septic hose coming from the black water into the septic dump. So what you're going to do is first dump your black water by pulling this handle towards you, let it drain out, push the handle back in, remove the septic hose from this fixture, and attach it to your gray water fixture. At that point, you can pull the handle out, let it drain, push your handle back in. It's very important to always push the knife valves back into. If you're dry camping, you won't need to empty the black and the gray water. One thing we do like to stress is if you are dry camping with no septic hookup, make sure you're using the on-site facilities, as you could fill the black and gray water tanks quickly. And that unfortunately would be a cost for us to come out of $100 plus a kilometer charge. And if they are overfilled when we get on site and we haven't been notified, then the cost goes up dramatically, because then we have to turn around and go back and get a honey tank. So just be very careful when dry camping. So now we're going to go over the control panel for the Hideout, which is located as you come in the door. There is a little cupboard to your left. Open that cupboard up and all your controls are going to be right in here. I'll try and get you a better shot because of the glare of the light. The bottom here is your hot water tank, and we have a gas and an electric switch. If you're dry camping, you will be hooked up to gas. If you have campground power, then you'll be hooked up to electric. The next panel is the control center, which shows you the levels of your batteries, your freshwater, black water, gray water, and galley. And then up top here we have the slide switches and the awning switches. This unit has a powered awning. So here's the hot water heater we were talking about. On this side you'll see it's gas, so if we are dry camping we're going to have that to the on position. Your reset button here, if that lights up, then we want you to turn the switch off, turn it on again. If it does that again, then you're probably out of propane, so go to the front of the unit and change it electric for when we're hooked up to power at campsites. Your water pump, once again, if you're dry camping, you're going to want that on the on position, and if you leave the unit, we ask that you turn it off. And these are your LED lights that correspond to these buttons. When pushed, you can see that the battery on this one is 2/3 full, fresh water is 2/3, black water is showing 1/3. Now, I know this unit's empty and sometimes stuff does get stuck on the sensors, but the important part is you want to watch for when it hits 2/3, then you know it's time to slow down using it. Once again, if you're dry camping, we suggest that you use the on-site facilities, even at a campsite, because it'll stop you from having to go out and pull the knife valve on the unit. Then you have your gray and your galley water. Galley is your sink. Once again, when doing dishes, use a half a sink of water, wash all your dishes, and have the other side with some rinse water in it. Your slide operation, in and out, your awning, and once again that wind warning, bring that awning in whenever you're not in attendance of the unit, or if the wind is coming up, and at night when you go to sleep, make sure that you bring that awning in, because if the wind comes along and wraps that around the top of the trailer, that's about a $4,000 fix. Now, also just located underneath your control panel, you have your light switches. The first one here is for your LED lights under your awning. Second one here is for your bright light out front of the unit outside. The middle one is your interior light for the RV. And the third one is just your little door light outside. So now we'll go over the stereo usage for this unit. Your power button is up here in the left-hand corner. You have 3 sets of speakers.
And you get half-price pizza. Runs out.
And then C is your outside speakers. One thing we ask is that you don't turn the volume up too high, as you will blow the speakers, and that's just something you don't want to have to pay for. Also, anybody under the age of 16 is not allowed to use the unit. Actually, anybody under the age of 16 shouldn't be left unattended while in the unit. I mean, if you're right outside, that's fine, but not leaving them alone for any extended period of time. Also on this stereo, you do have Bluetooth, AM, FM, you have a CD player, so you can play movies on the TV, providing you have the adequate power to do so. To light your stove, very simple. Turn the burner on that you would like to light, lift up the grate, strike a lighter or a match. Matches are provided in the unit, and that will be how you light your stovetop. Now also, as we discussed earlier, if for some reason this doesn't light, it's a good indication you're out of propane. So that would be when you go up to the front and change tanks. Other than that, to light your pilot light in your stove is just light the pilot light down below there. Once again with matches, and you're good to go. Okay, let's discuss your fridge. When you arrive in the unit, your fridge will already be on. It'll be set at a temperature of medium. It can take up to 6 hours for the fridge to cool down. So if you come in and put a bunch of hot food in there, it's going to take even longer. Way to tell if your fridge is pretty good to go: open up the freezer, stick your hand inside. If it's nice and icy in there, then you're good to put your food in. The more you open it and close it, of course, cools it down or warms it up. If the check and the gas light are flashing, that means one of 2 things have happened. For some reason, the burner has gone out in the propane fridge, or you've run out of gas. One of the reasons it can go out just by itself is maybe a strong wind came through and blew it out. So what we suggest you do is just turn the button off, wait 5 seconds, turn it back on, and it should relight. If it's out of gas, of course it won't relight, so that's when you go to the front of the trailer and flip from one tank to the other. As far as the temperature, we ask you to leave it in the middle. If for some reason you turn it up and forget about it, the chances of you freezing up your fridge are pretty good, and then you're without a fridge for the remainder of your vacation or until it unthaws and restarts. Other than that, that's pretty much it on the fridge. Okay, next is your thermostat for your heat and AC and to just run a fan. So I'm going to try and slide you in a little bit closer here. It's got your 3 different modes here, so when you push this button, it will light an LED light next to your choice. So just keep pushing it when you get to the option that you're seeking. Leave it, and then you can set your temperature with the plus and minus. Same with your heat. And to turn everything off, you just press it one more time. Nothing lit in the middle. This little button will be, LED light will be green. It will go out, and that will tell you that you've turned the system off. Now, one thing with your AC, we do recommend 30 amp service or a generator that will handle the AC, which is generally a 3,000 watt generator. Now, for some reason your AC doesn't want to work, if you're at a campground that say is supplying 20 amp service, which we do not recommend you do, but it can be done in certain situations. You can turn off everything else in the unit, including the stereo, the fridge, all that, and it may run on the 20 amp service for the AC. If you have a generator that is a 3,000 watt or better, plug it in. Make sure that when you select AC, you switch to low till the unit kicks into gear. Once it's kicked into gear, then you can switch it to high, and the generator will run your AC. Most places don't allow you to run your generator all day long, so if you're dry camping with a generator, then you'll be able to run it in the morning and at night to cool down your trailer. And you can also hit your fan button, and that'll run your fans, which sucks the air out of the unit, which will draw in cooler air from outside. Oh, hello. Well, it's time to discuss your bathroom operations. We'll start with the toilet. These toilets are not like a regular toilet. It won't have water in it all the time. So what you're going to do when you come into the unit, now if you are dry camping, you're going to need to have your water pump on for the toilet to work, sink, shower, and your sink, of course. If you're at a campsite, you won't need to have your water pump button on, because we'll have you hooked straight to the water for the campsite. So what you'll do is you'll come in, push halfway down on this pedal. It will give you half a bowl of water, and then you can go ahead and do your business. Once you've done that, go ahead and flush. Nothing but the RV toilet paper supplied is allowed to go into the unit toilet system. We have had situations where a bunch of stuff was thrown in there and we had to scope it, and when we found out what it was, there was definitely a big bill for that one. So once again, if you have kids or anything like that, make sure nothing gets tossed down the toilet other than the toilet paper supplied in your RV. Your shower is much like your home shower, except it has one extra on-off switch. This is very important for when you're dry camping. So what you do is you set your temperature as you would at home, pull the middle button up, which will allow water to go through to the head. So if you are dry camping, you're going to want to have this off, get into the shower, wet yourself down, turn it off once again, lather up, and then rinse yourself off. If you try to run it just like your shower at home when you're dry camping, you will fill your gray water tank, and then you won't be able to use your water system anymore. If you're hooked up to a campsite with water, then you can go ahead and do everything. As your tanks fill, you can just go outside and pull on the knife valves that we showed you at the beginning of this tutorial. Other than that, that's pretty much about it. Oh, the courtesy fan, which is located, this little black switch right here. Go ahead and turn that on, and it will refresh the room quickly. Now, if you are at a campsite and you're going to be dumping the septic system once it fills up, we have this special little stuff called Happy Camper. So once you've emptied your septic system, come back in, put a half a bowl of water in there, open this guy up, 1 scoop of Happy Camper, sprinkle it around in the water, and then flush the toilet. That will help deodorize and make sure that you don't get any unpleasant smells coming up through the system. And that is it for your bathroom operation. Okay, now let's talk about your electrical system in the unit. Behind this door, which you just have to push on, it will pop open, just push lightly, you'll find all your breaker switches. Now the only reason you'd have to go in here is, let's say you are running your generator or you're hooked up to campsite power and you go to plug in a toaster or a coffee pot and there's nothing happening. So first thing you're going to do is look at the lights on your microwave. If your generator is running properly and you've got power from the campsite, your lights on your microwave will be on. So let's say that they're not on and you're running a generator. What you're going to do is you're going to go outside to the generator, you're going to turn the generator off, unplug the unit from the generator, restart your generator, plug the unit back in, and then you should have power. And if you don't at that point, you will call us at the office. If you have campsite power and you having the same problems, no power at one of your receptacles, once again check your microwave. If the lights are on, then you have power. If the lights are not on, then it will be a power issue from the campsite. So make sure that you go outside, make sure nobody's unplugged the RV from the campsite. And if they do have a reset button on the pole at the campsite, go ahead and push that. If they don't, and you've got no lights on your microwave, then you're going to have to call your camp host. And if you do have lights and still no power and all your breakers are on, that's when you can give us a call at the office. Okay, so now we're going to show you how to break down the bed so that you can sleep a couple more people here. And you have to be very careful because if you don't do this quite properly, you can damage the unit. So what you're going to do is take your cushions off. Turn this one up on its side. These two off. Also turn this one up on its side. Now this table just folds down. Put your foot on the table brace at the bottom. You'll find a little knob just below the table here. Just pull it out to the right and it will slide down. You have to be careful on these edges when you're putting it into place. So I've slide back and you're in. Push it down. Take your three little backrest pieces. And there you go. Now, as I said, you got to watch carefully, especially when bringing this table up. Cushions to the side. Here's the tricky part. When you put your foot on that, pull on this knob, let the table come up a little bit, otherwise you'll end up catching it on these two trim pieces and ripping them off. So lift up on a bit, pull that pin out, and slide it past it. And lock it back into place. And then put your cushions back down. Square piece with a long angle bed back, cushion up. And that's your table bed operation. Okay, let's show you how to use the pull-out couch. Pillows off. Grab the handle right down here, pull up and out. Fold the legs out, lay that down, grab the back and just pull it down. Roll your pillows in. And you have a nice, large, comfy sleeping area. Now we're going to show you how to do the window operation when you have a blind like this. At the bottom of each corner is two plastic tabs. Just pull back very gently and unhook the bottom from one side and it'll pop out. Take your strings, pull it all the way up. Now this particular window is a dial, so you're going to turn it and it'll feel like it's not doing anything, and all of a sudden it will engage and open the window. Now the reason that we want you to pull the blinds all the way up is if you try reaching through just to turn that knob, you're going to bend the corners of the blinds, and then you'll be asked to replace those. So same thing back, close your dial. You'll feel like it's not doing anything, all of a sudden it will engage, and then you can drop your blind back down. You don't have to redo it up on the bottom if you don't want to. We will do that before we move the trailer after we pick it up. That's your blind operation in this trailer. You do have the one emergency window in the living area just above the table bed. You also have another one here in the bedroom. All you do is lift up on the red handle, push the handle right through, and then pop your screen off. Then you can get out. But we are proud to say, just like WestJet, we have never lost a client yet, so you won't need it. So the last thing we're going to go over is the screen door operation. This particular unit has two handles on it and a bug slide. So when you open your door, your screen door will be attached. You need to actually push down on the handle to release it and push down on the handle to put it back and connect it to that door. Same with going this way. Please do not slam the door, as you could break this this lever, and if you break that, you're looking at about an $80 fix for this one. So that's it. Also, if you have kids in the unit, just make sure that they're not pushing on the screens or anything like that or ripping them. We don't want to have to charge you for that kind of stuff. Other than that, that pretty much takes care of your 26-foot bunkhouse hideout trailer. Enjoy your stay.